Rochdale 13 with Alan Kilshaw ahead of the Kingston Press League 1 fixture against York. We're at Mossway, new training venue for Rochdale Hornets. What do you make of the facilities up here?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've done a little bit of work on it in the last couple of months, and it's good to call this place a venue and different way into the place. And I know there's plans in there to develop it and get ourselves a meeting room, a video room in the next few weeks. And I'm sure the lads will appreciate the facility tomorrow when we do our last run ahead of York.
And as we say, it's York on Sunday. The lads had the week off last week. How's everyone pulled up, raring to go?
Yeah, good. They came back in Tuesday, and we looked at this next phase of games, set some goals, and they look really good mentally and physically. They've trained well this week, and we've got another run tomorrow, and it's just important that we convert that practice into a performance, something that we've not done consistently this year, but that everyone's come back fresh. Dave Coxon's available again, Alex McClurg and Jordan Kay, so there's a few selection headaches ahead of Sunday's game.
And it's the second time we'll be facing York this season. There were a bit of needle in the aftermath to the last game. There was James Ford took exception to some comments you'd made in the build-up surrounding Gary Thornton. Just wondered what you made of that.
Yeah, I just think it got took out of context a little bit. The point I was trying to get across was that York had been a successful side for the last few years. Obviously, they won the minor premiership under Gary, and then James has accelerated that. He's done a really good job. Had a lot of turbulence last year off the field, and then this year they've seen a bit more stable. They've recruited really well, and they've started the season reasonably well. Only one defeat in the league, and obviously making the iPro Cup final. There was no disrespect intended to James and his staff, and as I said, we were just making the point that Gary had been there, and 3 years ago, and they made the minor premiership. They made the playoffs last year, and they're on course to do that this year. And the point I was trying to get across is they've been a successful side consistently, and with that first season with Gary there, and then obviously James has accelerated that.
And a bit of a contrast in situations. We had the weekend off last week. York go into the game having played last Saturday in the iPro Cup final, and then Wednesday night against Coventry. It's the third game in a week. Do you think that'll work in their favour or ours?
Oh, look, there's different sides to the argument. You could say they're going in battle hardened and match fit, and we've had the week off. I would say that we've had better preparation for this game alone, where we've managed to train Tuesday, Thursday. We'll train again tomorrow, and all our focus has been on this week, whereas they've had to play midweek. And off the back of a final as well, so their prep would have been disrupted for this game. And it's I feel for them. I think it's disappointing that they had to back up on Wednesday, and there's lads there who've got to work as well. We talk about welfare. I just think planning can be looked at for that, in the future for teams making the finals, to ask them to back up when lads have got to work, the day of the game, the day before, the day after. It's a big ask, and credit to them to come through and get a win on Wednesday night.
They're obviously going to be hurting after the final loss. They'll be looking to right a few wrongs on Sunday, show people that perhaps they're not chokers. Is that something you'll be worried about?
Oh, look, as you mentioned, I've heard that, from a couple of people this week regarding the chokers tag, with them just losing by one in the playoffs last year. Well, I don't buy into that at all. You've got to be a real good team to be getting in the mix, to be getting into them semi-finals, to be getting in them finals, and I'm sure they'll use it as a motivation. I remember speaking to John Duffy back end of last year when Swinton had been beaten in the iPro Cup, and they did use it as a motivation. They wanted to be back playing in finals, and they wanted to put it behind them and get promoted. And York is still on task for that, and you can see it now. They've got a single focus, and that focus will be getting promoted. Now the iPro's out of the way.
And it's been a funny season so far. Tight at the top. We're still top, undefeated. Still seem to be going under the radar. There's not a lot of talk surrounding us. Have you started to think about promotion and look to next year, or are you just taking it week by week?
As we said from the start of the year, it's week by week. It's a process. We just, we're still on the radar. Nobody fancied us at the start of the year. I think we were down as 8 favourites in some of the rugby press, and everyone was talking about other teams, and they still seem to be. And we're happy to do that and just keep improving week by week. And we know where we're at, and we know where we need to get to if we want to be challenging at the end of the season.
And just touching on you know, it's your 4th season now coaching first grade on both sides of the world. Would you put yourself as one of the more experienced coaches in the comp, or do you think you're still learning every day, still learning off people?
Oh, there's a range of different coaches and experiences in this competition. You know, there's some young coaches starting out, and I'd still put myself in that bracket. You know, I have had some good experience now in development. You know, first of all, and then going over to coach first grade in Australia. And look, I'm improving all the time, and you know, with learning off my assistants, other coaches, and now you manage different situations. And got a couple of good mentors there who are high profile that I can always lean on if I need to. And I think the competition's a great breeding ground for coaches. You know, look at with James as well, and he's a young British coach, and it's good to see that. And hopefully, you know, likes of ourselves can keep given these opportunities, because you know, coaching's changed in the last few seasons, and it's not all about the big name ex-players. You know, it's about those guys who want to do that apprenticeship, and it is good to see that the Championship and League One are really producing some good young British coaches, and hopefully they can push forward and coach at the highest level.
Cheers, Alan.